Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I just had a job interview, and so since I look decent, I figured I would sit in front of the camera and just have a little chit chat. So this is going to be a chatty video. So if you were looking for a journal video, this is not it. Even though I'm going to talk about journal and creativity and all that stuff, it's just going to be a chatty video, a what's up with me video, because I haven't made a video I think since my last video, which was a scrapbooking process video for Felicity Jane, and I haven't made a project for Felicity Jane in a while. So yeah, that's that. I do have like a few things that I guess kind of wanted to mention. I don't know why I scribbled it in my planner, but I did. So I guess I will hit up on those. I don't know, I wrote vlog here, and then I wrote like bullet points of things that I wanted to talk about in the vlog, but I have that here. I'm looking it over. It's cool. Yeah. I am just gonna talk. So hi, how are you? I hope you are all well. It is actually a really nice day today, which is surprising because it was raining the beginning half of the week, and then tomorrow and like the rest of the week, except maybe the weekend. I think the weekend's supposed to be nice, but like tomorrow and Friday. So I'm filming this, it's a Wednesday. April 14th. Tomorrow and Friday are supposed to be raining, which is disappointing, but that's that. But today is like decent out. I mean, it's cloudy, so of course it's gonna rain, but like weather-wise, it's pretty nice, and so I'm feeling good. Like I'm feeling okay, and so it's not gonna be a downer chit chat. I'm actually feeling cool. But yeah, so I just kind of want to briefly talk about what I'm calling a social media hiatus, and I am putting it in air quotes because I am posting things on Instagram. It's one thing. Obviously, I'm creating this video and I'm going to post it on YouTube, but I did post like on Instagram last week before that, I don't remember, that I was going to take like a little break. And what I mean by taking a little break is I'm still going to be on Instagram. I'm still going to be like consuming people's posts and like posting things that I'm up to and stuff like that, and posting things like journals that I'm working on. What I'm taking a break from is creating things simply to post it. So like making stuff, like filming a video, like a process video for YouTube. I'm gonna sit down and like make something. It's very weird how I'm gonna describe this, especially if you're not a creator that creates for social media or has a YouTube channel or that stuff. But it's like you get into a different mindset when you're gonna sit down and like film you working in your journals. It's a completely different mindset. Like the way that my mind works, it's like, okay, I'm gonna film this today, and so the process is a little bit different when I sit down to like work in my journal, but then I'm also filming it. And please excuse if you hear any background noise. It's a nice day out, so everybody and their moms is outside, and I live in New York, so it's loud all the time. And I'm not sure if I want to edit too much of this video, but there's that. But yeah, so it's like a different mindset, and it's just different. It's just different when you sit down and you don't have any obligation to film what you're doing in your journals, and it's just fun. I feel like I can jump around when I do that. When I'm filming, I feel like I always have to stick to whatever I'm doing, and like do it to completion. When I'm just working in my journals just to work in my journals, I can just play here and then maybe jump to this journal or another thing and then come back. Like I don't have to actually finish something in that one sitting, whereas when I film it for my channel, I feel like I need to, start to finish sort of thing. It's just a different mindset. The process is different too. And so that's what I'm taking a hiatus on, is actually creating things to post, creating things to share. And I'm still creating things and I'm still gonna share those things that I'm creating, but I'm not like gonna be like, oh my god, I need to film this. So if I don't have like videos coming up, that's why. These videos are a little bit more easier to film because it's just me talking to you via the screen and camera. And for some reason, they're a little less I don't want to say stressful, because it's not stressful creating like the top-down journal with me videos at all. It's just a lot to it, I guess. A lot of like post editing stuff too. And I don't know, I feel like I need a little break from that basically. And so that's what I mean by my little social media hiatus. Also, I'm not going to be present all the time on the socials. Like I'm not going to be checking all the time. Like I don't check Instagram all the time, but sometimes when I do have like things to share, I'll like schedule it to post and I'm like, yeah, but I'm not like my ideal would be to post something every day on Instagram, but it's just not. It's not the reality, at least for me at this time. And I'm just having fun kind of making stuff just to make it, you know? But I am sharing photos of everything that I'm creating in my journals that I'm not like documenting fully here on YouTube. So if you do want to see some more stuff from me like that and you're not already following me on Instagram, handle is always in the description box. Maybe I'll put it up on the screen here, but it's Ariel Lovely, and just come on to Instagram and just find me there because I am sharing the things that I'm up to in this little hiatus that I am taking. So I wanted to mention a little bit of like that tags along to the hiatus. In my head, I will say that maybe it has to do with burnout, but not creative burnout because I'm still working in my journals. I'm still being creative and I'm having a lot of fun just sitting and just making pages and just working through my journals just for myself. But more so, I guess, of the process of creating content for the webs at large, that sort of process, I kind of want a little break from it because I'm a little tired. You know, you kind of get drained when you're just doing it a lot all the time. And I was putting out a video a week, sometimes multiple videos a week, but a video a week because that's like what I can do in terms of like editing. Because oh my god, video editing takes forever and I have a really old computer and so it's really slow most of the times, and so it's tasking. But I don't want to say that I'm burnt out creatively, and I'm bringing this up because I've been getting really into again James Burke, his YouTube channel, and I follow him on Instagram. I've been following him since he was on the Jane Davenport mixed media team when Jane Davenport first came out with like her line with American Crafts. That's where I found him, was through that design team. So like he's been doing a lot of Disney art journaling recently and doing more lives on Instagram and stuff like that. And so I've just been you know, happily indulging in his creative time, and I'm so grateful that he shares it. And I'm pretty sure I know I get messages of from you all, you know, when you're very grateful for my content that I put out. That's how I feel about his. I'm just so grateful that he shares that stuff. But he was talking on one of his videos about this idea of creative burnout because he doesn't believe in it. When people say that they're burnt out creatively, I think he understands. I'm not even sure if he understands the concept or like why people say that, but him and his husband Steve, they were doing like not a Q&A, it was more like an assumptions video. I will leave a link to James's channel and that video in the description box because I love him. I love listening to him talk, and like he tends to go on and on too. He digresses and rambles, and I feel a kindred spirit in that because I tend to go on and ramble and talk a lot. But they were talking about that, of creative burnout, and he was saying that he doesn't think that creative burnout is real, that we are all creative. Is just a matter, like sort of like levels to it, because he was saying that he never gets creatively burnt out. Yeah, there will be some times where he doesn't know what to do, like in a journal page or whatever, and so he just plays and he just tries new things. And if you just, you know, watch watercolors into your journal, for him that is being creative, and there's nothing being burnt out by that, you know, that. And then so that's how he was describing it. And then Steve was saying that he doesn't think that creative burnout is that, like he takes it more of, you know, sort of like comparing yourself to other people and like what social media kind of expects from you, that, you know, you can just not want to do that or get tired of kind of keeping up to those standards of what people feel that you should be posting. And like I'm on the Steve side. Like I understand what Steve's saying, but I also at the same time don't think James is wrong either. Like, I think, like, I would always, it's interesting, whenever I would think of being creatively burnt out, um, the first things that I do are like reorganize my craft space, or I always swatch out colors. Like, for some reason, that's just, it's like a play when you're swatching out your supplies. I do that when I feel like I don't have ideas or anything to do. But at the same time, the reason why I don't feel like that is because I feel like I'm obligated to create something to share. And so it's both. It's both what Steve was saying and both what James was saying. That I don't think we can ever be creatively burnt out. I think we can be burnt out from the idea that we feel like we need to share, or that we need to create something worthy of sharing. And so I've just been thinking about that in my head. And yeah, it's a very good listen. That whole part of that video, which I'm gonna link, of just being of the idea of creative burnout and like how to get over that. And really, I think they also mentioned this is it's a mindset, like, because James is so he is so, like, his personality is just so much. I want to say, not in a bad way, but like just how he thinks of things. I'm pretty sure he lets, certain things get to him because we're all human. We're not immune to like things that go on in social media world. But like, though, just the way that he handles it for me is very admirable. Like, it's like, oh my God, I wish I could just think like James and just do it like James, because he just plays when I guess he's feeling a little lost of what to create, which I think why some people call it creative burnout, because they don't know what to create and they feel like they need to be creating. And for him, he's always creating, like in his head he's always creating, even when he's doodling or scribbling or swatching. For him, that is a creative practice, and so he's always like creating. And so the idea of the creative burnout is like so foreign to him because he feels like he's always creating. And I think that's a really good mindset to kind of not acquire, or adapt is a very good word, adapt. Like, think of all the things as you're being creative. And it takes me back to, artist dates, when Julia Cameron says, to take yourself out on an artist date. And what she means by artist date is you don't actually have to do anything creative in a way. It's not like you can go to like an art supply store, or you can go to a museum and do something creative in that sense, but it's not about that. It's more of about the idea of you're getting yourself out to play. And so, like, I was just thinking about that, and I felt like I needed to share that, just because of just where I am in my process, in my creative journey. And yeah, it was just very interesting and just felt like sharing. And so yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at the moment. I am sharing things again over on Instagram. I feel like it's just easier to work in my journals and then just take a picture and share. And so I'm actually working on working in, I should say, two different journals at the moment. And of course, the first one is my unraveling journal, because that's one that I work in throughout the year. And I think I mentioned this in like my unraveling journal videos at the start of the year, but I did create for myself a list of prompts to follow throughout the year, specifically for my unraveling journal. And that's because I'm putting together like a little ebook about starting an unraveling journal and how to keep the unraveling journal throughout the year. And so I'm creating a little ebook, and so I figured that within the ebook I should have some prompts, some jumping off points for you to kind of get started in this concept that I keep my journal. And it's again, my journal is all about me. Like, so I'm keeping a journal specifically all about me. And it's not one of those like, dear diary, this and this and this and this and this, because I'm not one of those journalers. I know there are plenty of people who are so comfortable just diving into a journal, dear diary, and writing out like all the things. I'm not that. I get bored with that so easily, and I feel like other people also get bored with that easily. And so I've kind of reimagined that and made it one creative. So there's always some creative layering, junk journaling happening, art journaling happening in my unraveling journal. But at the same time, I am journaling about myself. I'm journaling different things about myself and about like what I like, what I dream about, what I hope for, and just who I am. And so that's what my unraveling journal is about. And I know when I was doing it in 2019, everyone was really interested in that concept, right? And so I figured, you know what, let me like purposely kind of work through it and see if I can compile all the things with like prompts that are really good to get you thinking about yourself in your journals and put that all in like an ebook. And so I've been working on that. I've been working on the ebook in tandem with the entries in my unraveling journal. And let me say, I'm having so much fun in my unraveling journal. I'm loving how the journal is coming together and like looking, and I really like the prompts that I've created for myself so far, because I've created a whole list of them. But it's these prompts are like getting me to work in my journal, for one, because normally in my unraveling journal I would just journal my little epiphanies, how I'm calling them, moments where I realize something about myself, and then I'll go and journal that. So not every day was I working in my unraveling journal. It was just only when I had these epiphanies. So now that I'm like purposely journaling about myself, it's been really fun. I've enjoyed the process, and so I'm hoping to get that workbook out. I don't want to say soon. Honestly, it'll probably be at the ending of the year. I feel like that's when it'll just all come together. But even as I'm working through it, I've been thinking about maybe turning it into a course, but like I don't want it to be just like a regular course. Like I have everything on the website and you sign up for it and then you can just work at your own pace. I don't want it to be like that. I mean, it can be like that because the workbook is actually going to be like that. But if I'm going to do like a course version of this, I'm just wondering. And so leave a comment, a suggestion if you're interested in this idea, or if it's a good idea, or if it's a bad idea, whatever. I want some input on this. But I was thinking of just running it like I guess a live course, calling it live because it's going to be virtual, obviously, like online, but live in a way that, as of now, I'm thinking it might be like like a span of 8 weeks, and so that each week a lesson is going to go live, and each lesson I'm thinking is going to have 3 to 4 journaling prompts, like creative journaling prompts, like writing prompts and actual like junk journaling, art journaling prompts, where those are going to have process videos from me, right? And so 3 to 4 of those prompts, and then 1 creative photography prompt where we will work through a self-portrait prompt. But I was thinking of showing you how I go about taking those specific self-portraits. And so it's kind of going to be like a little photography lesson with each week, but like all about self-portraits. I don't know. It's just been in my head. But yeah, each week would be 3 to 4 journaling artsy prompts, and then 1 creative photography prompt. And that'll go on for 8 weeks. And each week is gonna have, I was thinking like a theme. Like I know the first week is gonna be all about you right now, like in this moment, since it's all about unraveling. It's all about the process of unfurling, as I'm calling it, because my one little word for this year is a gentle unfurling. It's just the process of discovering about yourself, learning more about yourself, and like blossoming. So I'm calling it the unfurling process. But I always like to start my journal and like my process with who I am right now in this moment. Like I want to see a snapshot of who I am now. So I'm thinking the first week is going to be about that, and you're going to have like 3 to 4 prompts of like now, and then like a self-portrait about now, like just a now self-portrait, like a very low-key kind of selfies of what you look like now, and then using that portrait in your journals. And so I have my unraveling journal here. This is the one that I'm keeping. I'm keeping it in this little journal, and my now page is this one, right? Like I am Tiffany. And so like starting it off like that, yeah, and then just building up. And I was thinking, anyway, I can go on and on about like my idea, but I was thinking like it being 8 weeks and like coming out weekly, like the lessons will come out weekly, and there will be like a live community. I hate Facebook, so it won't be a Facebook group. I'm thinking it'll be like a Mighty Networks group, where we can either share our thoughts on the process, maybe share our journals if we feel comfortable, because these are personal journals, ask questions for each other and all these things, and then maybe having like a live. Like I don't exactly know if I want to do like a live, like a private live stream, or doing a Zoom call or something with everyone. But I'm thinking along the lines of that. I don't know if that's of interest of anyone. I suck at trying to gauge whether that's something that people will want to buy into, or not. But I'm definitely doing a workbook because workbooks are accessible. It's going to be a PDF format. It's going to be, if you ever downloaded my Mindfully You workbook, which is free, you can get it on my site. I think there's always a link. Well, there's a link to my website, but you can always get it there. That is just, it's literally just a workbook of a bunch of like prompts that are themed, and then you'll see what I did for the prompt, like a picture. And like I'll like write sort of like a little inspiration letter to you, and then the prompt will be there, and then I'll show you how I did the prompt. That's how my Mindfully You workbook goes. And it's just, I feel like prompts are helpful just to kickstart our journaling. So this workbook would be like the same, but I will go more into my unfurling process in my unraveling journal. And yeah, and I'll have all the prompts too that I will teach in the class, except the class is different because then you can see my process, how I do things, and it's going to have more like art, not so much tutorials, but art-based video processes. It's a different, and then it's going to have that live aspect too. But it's just been something that I've been toying around in my head, and that I'm kind of working on and outlining and things. I do this all the time. I outline classes, like class ideas that I have, and a lot of them don't end up actually becoming classes. So this is just one that's just been in my head, but I just kind of wanted to state it here and to just see if there's just any interest in it, like any interest in it. The workbook is a definite thing. That's something that I'm definitely going to put up in my shop for anyone to download if they want. But the class is the one where it'll be a little bit more work, obviously, because I have to film videos and stuff like that. But I don't know. I feel like it's going to be fun. And I know in the live class, in the workbook, I'm going to talk about artist dates and like going on artist dates and how that can fuel, that you can gather inspiration. You can kind of fill up your well a little bit when you go on them. So there's going to be a section in the workbook where I talk about that. But I feel like in the live class, it'd be really fun to take you, video-wise, take you on an artist date. And then maybe having a virtual artist date to over Zoom or something. It's just the live aspect of what I'm talking about in the workbook, which just really seems so cool to do together. Just basically what I'm saying. But yeah, so just let me know. Leave a comment, send me a message on Instagram or whatever if this is something that you'll be interested in, I guess, or if it's of interest or if it's a good idea. I don't know. Like it's just been in my head, but I'm definitely going to do the workbook, and then the live class will kind of just jump off the workbook, really. So either way, I'm doing it. It's just one will be an ebook workbook, and the other one will be a class, which can come after at any time. But yeah, so I've been working on that. I've been working on my unraveling journal and all that fun stuff. I actually have pages that I've done in my unraveling journal that I have already posted on Instagram, like this one. I have like little notes and stuff tucked into these little pockets and stuff. I actually recently just put these envelopes. These are little envelopes, digital envelopes that I have in my shop that you can print and cut and then fold up. I'll leave a link in the description because I recently just put them up on my website. And yeah, so I've been having a lot of fun working in my unraveling journal. I've also been working on a new journal, and so I'm taking a class and it's very serendipitous how this class came about. Actually, I was like in the search feature of Instagram, and this is when everyone was doing the Pieces of Us challenge, Ali Edwards' challenge, and I was just looking at people's posts and stuff like that, and so I came across one, and it popped up, right? So I looked at it, and then I just kind of clicked her profile, and I saw that she does like journals sort of like in the way that like Brandy Kincaid does her journals, which I always find really fascinating. I'm incapable of doing keeping a journal like that, but I love the look of it. I love Brandy Kincaid. And so I'm like, oh, I like the journals. And so I'm clicking through like all of the posts, and she was just talking about that they're for like a class that she is doing for the month of April. And so, of course, I go on the website and all this stuff. Anyway, her name is, let's see if I can pronounce it correctly, Liz Lamoureux, I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know, I might be butchering her name, but she does courses, she does online courses, she does retreats in real life, but COVID. And yeah, and she's like a mixed media journalist, writer, photographer. She loves poetry and all the things. And so I really like the idea of her course. It kind of supports my whole unfurling process this year, but hers is talking about a thread. Like we all have a thread in our lives that we follow. I'm not gonna like say too much about the course because obviously it's her course that's happening now this month. But I really love the idea of it, and so I signed up for it. And I signed up a little bit late because it started April 1st, and I signed up April 8th, so I didn't miss, but I'm behind like the first week of stuff, and so I've been catching up with it. But there was like, she had like a lovely Zoom call for like in the beginning, and it was just really nice. Anyway, I say that it's serendipitous because I have a stack of art books. Like I buy all my art books used. I buy them secondhand, and I just have a stack of them. I haven't read any of them. Let's be real, none of them. I've skimmed through them, but I've not read through any of them front cover to cover. But I have a stack, and like as I was going through for some of the lessons, I don't know, something told me, go look in your art books. There was one art book that I have that I bought it used. I got it for like $3, but I didn't realize that it had pages missing, and somebody literally took a scissor to it and like cut things out. And so I was like, oh, maybe I can look in that book to see if I can find like things to cut out, because that's what I'm using it for now because I can't read it. Things to cut out. And so I pulled it out, and then I pulled out another book that I had on the stack just to look through, and lo and behold, I have the book here. This is the book. It's called Inner Excavation, and it's by Liz Lamoureux. I think that's Lamoureux. The woman I'm basically taking this course from. And so for me, it felt very serendipitous. I'm like, oh, I should be taking this course. Anyway, so it's called Here Touchstones. I think you can still sign up for it. I'll leave a link in the description as well for it. But I recently shared my first few pages in my journal from it, and this is the little journal that I'm keeping. This is a 5.5 by 5.5 Arteza watercolor sketchbook, and so the paper is like super thick. I actually had to rip out a few pages for this because I'm gluing stuff in, but yeah, it's like a very low-key journal process that I'm doing here. Like, I'm trying to get you in frame. Very, very super low-key, and I'm having a lot of fun in this class. And so this is something that I've been up to. Like this one's not really complete because just an inventory of things I gather, but just it's been very fun. And I of course had to make my little thing cute because it's like blank. It's like just like a canvas, and so I put lace, and then I put some floral fabric and stuff on it. I even changed out the little loopy thingy just to make it look a little bit more like me. But yeah, so I've been going through it, and it's been really fun, and I just wanted to mention that's been something that I've been up to. Other than that, there hasn't really been much happening in my world, but yeah, I think that's basically what's been happening. A little update. I wanted just to come on and give you a little update and chit chat and talk about all the things that I talked about. I do have a request, and so I think I've posted this on Instagram stories a bunch of times that I want to do a Q&A, and I've gotten some questions. I have them all written down in my planner. It's just I haven't sat down to do the Q&A, but I figured since it's going to be on YouTube, the Q&A, that I should actually survey my YouTube subscribers and see if you all have any questions for me or want to know something about me, my life, my journals, my dog, like anything, my art, my scrapbooks, whatever it is. If you want to just leave a comment asking the question for this video in the comment section of this video, or, you know, send me a message on Instagram. Yeah, if you just have any questions for a Q&A video, if you're interested. So I've been toying with the idea of doing one of those or doing another 20 things about me video. But then I have to come up with 20 things that I haven't already shared about me for that video. I think Q&A is like way better, but I do have questions from when my lovely Instagram followers sent me questions in on Instagram. So I do have those and I am going to answer them, but I just figured I can just open up the floor here on YouTube and see if any of you have any questions. And so I think that was the last thing that was on my list that I wanted to mention. I think spoke more about more things than that was on that list that I wrote, but it's nice that I can tack off a list. But yeah, any questions, anything, just anything. I know I said to put things in the description box, but yeah, so to recap, if you are interested in that unraveling journal course idea, just let me know. If you have any questions for my Q&A about me, about my journals, about my scrapbooks, about my process, about anything, again, let me know all in the comment section of this video. And yeah, I will make sure to leave all the links to all the things that I mentioned. James Luke Burke, his YouTube channel, Instagram, Liz's class here, Touchstones. I'll leave a link to that. What else did I mention? My Instagram, even though it's already linked. Oh, and the new digital that I did, the envelope digital. I'll leave that in the description box as well. And yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's all I kind of wanted to get off my chest today, and just, you know, feel like this is gonna be a very long chatty video. So I hope that y'all was doing something. I know a lot of you just kind of put my videos on and just listen to me talk and work in your journals, or maybe you had a cup of tea, or you're working your scrapbooks, whatever it is. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed your time with me. Thank you so much for always watching these videos and leaving comments and liking videos and all the good stuff. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you all next time.